back in here, one more reaction video, ladies and gentlemen. So I got this short clip that I wanted to bring to the channel and see how you guys feel about it. The question posed is, who makes for better parents, left wingers or right wingers? And the guy being questioned is Jonathan Haidt, author of The Coddling of the American Mind. Great book. Check it out if you have not. And if this is your first time to the channel, get on in here, park there with, take your shoes off, get comfortable. As I love to say, we are simply spirits encased in human flesh. That's all, baby. Trying to figure out this thing called life, not nearly as divided or as demonic as the mainstream media. And these social media algorithms try to make it seem every single day. And I think we can all agree that everybody wants to be happy, healthy, prosperous, and also raise healthy children as well. So if you dig what you hear in this video, share it far and wide.
For better parents, left wingers or right wingers?
Right wingers. There's a lot of data on this. There's long been a slight gap where conservatives are a little happier than liberals, and it's not clear why. Is that parenting? Who knows? But what I found in doing the research for the book is that the gap between left and right became a chasm after 2012. So we'll get to the reasons why that is. But the bottom line is, when kids are rooted in communities, they don't get washed out to sea by the phone-based childhood, by living by the virtual world. So over and over again, whether we look at left, right, whether we look at religion, what we find is that it's the secular kids and the liberal kids who got washed out to sea, got really depressed after 2012, and much less effect on the conservative and religious kids, because I think they're more rooted.
Now, if parenting is the most important thing, which you seem at many times to believe, why aren't you just a right winger? Because right wingers, according to you, get that right.
Well,
it would be your community, right? You're talking about community. Embrace that community.
Well, no, because my community is the academic community where almost everyone's on the left. And, I know some conservatives. They're mostly not professors. And I do belong to a synagogue, although I'm an atheist. So yes, I sort of like have one toe in, each of these worlds. But it's not that simple. You don't just say, well, my research shows that this produces better outcomes, therefore I will change my values and goal to be. No, it doesn't work that way.
So what my guy said is that he is a proud liberal, and he understands that conservatives raise better children, but he's going to stick to his guns. And I want to preface this by saying I worked at a private school for the last 6-7 years. I was the IT guy at Notre Dame, Dacian, Kansas City. So we had Montessori up to 12th grade, and the high school was all girls, and then Montessori through 8th grade was co-ed. So I got to be around a lot of kids whose parents were extremely, extremely rich, and also extremely, extremely liberal. And the biggest difference I noticed is the more money that a lot of parents had, the less invested they were in their child. Like time spent investment. Like they could just pay for them to be here and pay for them to be there and pay for the extended day, and they could just live their life. Versus when you were in poverty, your kids go everywhere with you. I only got a job at the private school so I could get a discount on tuition so I could put my kids in a better school. But every job that I've had to have, I had to bring them to work with me. So I wouldn't be, honest to God, I wouldn't have conservative values or conservative principles or any of that if I didn't become a father at a really young age. Because I think as a young person, there's really no reason for you to be conservative. They say if you're young, if you're not liberal when you're young, you have no heart. If you're not old, conservative when you get older, you have no brain. And becoming a father, my brain had to kick in expeditiously. I had to put her in the best environments. I had to make sure she was drinking the best water and eating the best food and had the best opportunities to grow. And I learned none of that was going to come from hip hop culture. None of that was going to come from the things that I've been raised around or the things that I've been taught to value. And so many people that I still know, they say, Johnny, you didn't change, or Johnny, you a coon. And it's like the same way you used to think, I thought that way my whole life. I thought we was oppressed, and I thought we was held back, and I thought our skin color mattered until I was in that private school environment with these kids, parents paying $20,000 a year, and I realized it ain't the money. It's what you pour into them. And if you can pour into your children, they can become great people. But if you leave them hanging to be raised by the world and by tablets, by social media, like my guy said, then you're going to have some broken individuals. Something that kept me out of trouble a lot as a kid is we didn't have lights. So I went to school, came home. Mom and daddy never had a car. So it was, crossword puzzles, the dictionary, the thesaurus, shooting jumpers at the park, or going to sleep. My daddy always said, don't be hanging around with a bunch of young men because they're going to get you in trouble. My mama always said I had to keep you away from the girls of the streets. So she kept me out the streets, and I did my thing with girls, but I learned my lesson the hard way. But let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think conservatives raise better children or liberals raise better children? And I'll preface this by saying I know a lot of liberal parents that are great people. Um, and your perception is gonna always be determined by the environment that you were raised in. So a lot of these super rich people, they can't fathom what it's like to come down to the hood or to the projects. But as I always said, man, you spend 2 weeks in any urban environment, and you'll see money won't change the problems. We need the parents to pour into their children to make the children better people. We can't keep blaming the public school teachers and the charter school teachers when they one person trying to reel in 27 kids that come from all different environments, all different backgrounds. Half of them don't have fathers, half of them living in crazy traumatic situations. So it's a lot to put on the teachers, and that's why parenting got to step up. And I was telling my wife yesterday, I don't think the men of my daddies and our grandpas and our great grandpas generation were necessarily mean. They just had high testosterone. And if you got high testosterone as a man, it make you a little more angry, a little more irritable. But you also down to go protect and provide for your family versus this new generation of men are real docile and soft and weak and they just let anything go. So yeah, they seem nicer, but they also more overweight. But I truly believe everything starts with parenting. I say a lot, fatherhood is the greatest spiritual experience that ever happened to me. I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for my children. And I love my kids. Like I truly love raising my children. What my youngest is 6 months and he crawling around and he's smiling at me. And my oldest is 15 and she's, ready to go get her driver's license and start driving. And you got the 2-year-old in there. And then the 4-year-old just had her dance recital. And my 5-year-old will be turning 6 at the end of this week. And he's playing flag football and soccer. And then my 9-year-old is about to be 10, Junebug, and then Kobe turned 11 and JJ turned 12. And man, just watching your children grow, if your children don't make you want to be pure and want to be a better person, I don't know what to tell you, man, because my children have made me step away from fast food, hip hop music. I mean, anything that's really derogatory or demonic, I don't consume it because my kids are always with me. There's a 97% chance that if you see Johnny out somewhere, I'm going to have one of these babies with me because they with me like this. And I think most men should be comfortable being full-time fathers because your son needs you. You are his guiding map, his shining star through this thing called life, where he gonna be sitting down with a tablet getting manipulated by LeBron James telling him it's hard to be black in America. You know what I mean? So we need strong men, strong fathers, strong uncles, strong grandfathers, all of that, so we can lead these children in a proper direction. Because no kid is born bad. No white kid is born a school shooter. No black kid is born a thug. But the media, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. I can't speak to you in Chinese or Japanese or Russian because I've never consumed that. But the imagery that's given to me by American media, it teaches me to be extremely self-destructive. It teaches me to terrorize the world, and it does the same thing to young white boys. It teaches young white girls and black girls that all they are is their body and sexuality. That's why, once again, that's why we need the parents to step in. Because even you sending your kids to these schools and the teachers are teaching them weird stuff, they tell them they can question their sexuality and they can change their body. And as I've said, I don't care what a grown person does. If you're 18 or over, do what you do, but watch my shoes. But there's no logical, sound-minded person in the world that said a 7-year-old should switch from boy to girl to boy. Nobody in a logical mind should say, an 11-year-old girl is ready to start being sexually active. But these concepts are floated out there by the world, and if you don't have strong parents who haven't disconnected from their youthful liberal ways and they just gonna let their kids be destroyed by society. We got the blind leading the blind. But y'all let me know y'all in the comments below. What do y'all think? Do y'all think conservatives raise better parents? Do y'all think liberals raise better parents? And it's always gonna be where you come from because I don't know a lot of black conservative parents raising black children. You get what I mean? Like most black people I know are raising their black kids to be little black liberals to run with that same victim oppression. However, most white people I know, their parents are conservative. So y'all let me know in the comments how that play out. And then when those young white liberals become parents, do they eventually switch back to conservative like their parents, or do they stay liberal and keep raising their kids liberal? Because I feel like our grandparents' generation, they was all conservative before the 60s, the 50s, 40s. And then this new liberal-minded stuff, it came on recently with when you tie hip-hop and culture and all that. This ain't even our culture. It's somebody else's culture. They didn't bamboozle us with and got you neglecting yourself and neglecting your real principles and your real values in life. And if you don't abide by the laws of nature, you will suffer.
Makes for better parents, left wingers or right wingers?
Right wingers. There's a lot of data on this. There's long been a slight gap where conservatives are a little happier than liberals, and it's not clear why. Is that parenting? Who knows? But
I think if I had to take a guess, one of my favorite books is The Strangest Secret in the World by Earl Nightingale. and he talks about how the best things in life are free. And I can say the more conservative I become, the more I value drinking water, taking a breath of fresh air. My kids run up to me and say, "Daddy," and give me a hug when I walk through the front door after a hard day at work. Yeah. And when I was liberal, I was real material minded. I cared about the cars. I cared about the clothes. You never would have saw me without a pair of earrings on or a watch on my wrist or a chain around my neck. I always needed an accessory, real feminine. But that was the liberal way. It was always, I need more. I need more. I'm never satisfied. I'm never satisfied. And now I understand that God gives us everything we need to get through these 24 hours. Give us this day our daily bread, and then you move on to the next day. And my conservative values and my conservative principles and me waking up early and praying and meditating and fasting, it's made me a much happier person. And a family is a reflection of the father's leadership. And because I'm so calm and happy and stoic and peaceful, you should see my wife. On God, I ain't saying I got the happiest wife in the world, but she top 5. I have a ton of children in this house, and every one of my children are extremely happy, extremely confident, because it all starts at the head. And I say a lot, if you didn't come from a strong family, make sure a strong family comes from you. And I 10 toes down, I'm putting my family on my back. I'm leading them to the promised land. And I'm encouraging every man in this world to do the same, because you have the same greatness inside of you that I got inside of me. We all have the ability to create life. We can shoot that life out inside of a woman or inside of a sock or inside of a plastic condom, or we can retain that life force inside of us and put it towards our goals, our dreams, and what we want to bring into our reality. It's up to you, my God. Do what you do, but watch my shoes. Thanks for watching the video. Once again, let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts? Do you believe the right wingers or left wingers raise better parents? If you're currently a conservative parent, a conservative, do you see yourself becoming liberal once you have children? If you're currently liberal, do you see yourself becoming conservative once you have children? Let me know in the comments below, because the world acts like if you're on one side, you got to hate the people on the other side. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. I train a kid in basketball, my little buddy Hank. He's going into his junior year of high school, and his mother and father are extremely liberal, bro. They be walking around her house with reparations t-shirts on, and my homie got James Baldwin tattooed on his leg. I mean, they are off the deep end in the liberal Kool-Aid, but we still cool. Ain't no beef, ain't no animosity. They children love me. They love my children. And I personally think that you should be able to get along with people who have different ideas and different values than you. If you can't, you need to go look yourself in the mirror because something wrong. But let me know. Outside of that, be happy, be happy, be happy. This world wants you sad, have anxiety, depression, not believing yourself, worrying about what's going to come next. But Jesus said this too shall pass. So walk in faith, not fear. I love you all. We out here. I went on a little rant. Peace.